Today is November 11th, and it's Poland's Independence Day. And I was thinking and reflecting about the fact that if I was from this country, I would honestly feel very proud. But I would feel proud in a more quiet way, not in a loud flag-waving way, although there's nothing wrong with that, but more like in an introspective, reflective way. The type of proudness where you are coming to the realization of how far your country has come. Boom! So let's start small. The first thing that I would feel really proud of is speaking English and what that means. But let me tell you, it's not just about the language, it's about how Poles use the language. They have a grasp on the language in a way that is beyond just knowing grammar and verbs and vocabulary. They know it from a cultural perspective. This is astounding. Poland is a country in Europe that has been, language-wise, quite isolated. Poles used to speak mostly Polish. Whether you want it or not, English is kind of like a default world language. Yes, Poles are still shy about it, and they sometimes make it seem like they know less than they do, but they know a lot more than they seem. And something that elevates the level of proudness that I would have about this is the fact that many of Polish people learn this totally by themselves. Watching movies, watching shows. Maybe they had some basic education in school, but come on, many Poles did not go to a proper English school for 5 years every week and just hammering level after level. Many of them didn't have that luxury. They learned it by themselves. But something important to highlight is that this is not just about communication. It's about confidence. Poles now can go anywhere in the world, talk to anyone, compete with anyone. And that's what the world is now noticing. Not just Polish skills, but Polish adaptability. The second thing is how people are turning to Polish startups and to local brands. I would be, and to be honest, I am, even though I'm not Polish, I feel proud of the fact that Poles are supporting their own national product. They're supporting their brands, their companies, from skincare to tech to development to freaking entertainment, food, you name it. And there are brands in these particular segments that come from Poland, created by Polish people, and the country has awoken and has realized that not always whatever is foreign is better. There was a time in Poland where something that came from abroad, especially from the West, was deemed better quality, was more thought after, was what you wanted to have. But now you have a huge market of Polish firms that not only have a beautiful, cleanly designed modern logos, but also their marketing strategies are clever, and the products themselves and the services are good quality, on par with anything out there on the west or the east or north or south. And not only Poles have embraced it, but it's like they feel proud to use those products and services. It feels to me as if there was like a national awakening where people now all of a sudden thought, okay, why do we need to keep putting up on a pedestal that which is foreign? Why don't we take command? Why don't we raise the standards? Why don't we create a new standard for our own people to consume? And what I love the most about this is that it's clearly not nationalism. It's self-belief. That shift, that quiet aesthetic confidence, that is the mark of a culture coming into its own. The third thing are Poles coming back from abroad and reshaping home. Let me tell you guys, leaving your home place takes a lot of courage, but returning takes confidence. There's a whole generation of Poles that left. They went to the UK, to Germany, to Norway, to the United States, and they learned not only technical things, but they learned about themselves. They learned about the world. And now they're bringing all that experience back home. And it's a major part of how Poland has been reshaping not only its image, but reshaping the foundations of what is to be Poland, and especially in the year 2025. It's a different Poland. It feels like a different Poland. And I think these people that have returned to Poland have learned how different communities operate, how businesses are run, how the service sector is massively different from the one that they saw back home. And let me tell you, I feel a massive amount of respect for that group of people that left, now are here, and instead of sitting and enjoying the fruit of their labor, they're just participating. They're changing things. They have acquired all this new set of information, how communities work abroad, how businesses are ran, how many things differ from that which they saw growing up in Poland. And no longer they want to sit and say, yeah, well, it is what it is. That's how we do it in Poland. No, they are affecting change, but still in a very Polish way, which is extremely interesting. I find that in Poland things feel Western, but at the same time Polish, and I cannot begin to explain to you guys where the Polishness begins and where the Westernized part ends. In many cities in Poland, especially larger cities, there is this cosmopolitan heartbeat that for whatever reason still feels Polish. The fourth thing is becoming more assertive as a society. For so long, Polish society was all about not bragging. Shut up, do your job, do it well, but don't brag. We're not going to praise you because you were initially meant to do it well, and shut up. And although I believe that this builds resilience, and to a very high degree, I think there should be a good amount of humility. Sometimes Poles used to stay quiet when they shouldn't have. Now people are starting to speak up in the media, at the workplace. They are just taking a stand and they're saying, hey, no, I don't agree with this, or this is unfair, or simply getting their voices heard. To expect respect, to set standards, and to have their demands be met. They're standing for boundaries, for mental health even. Try telling a Polish babcia that you are overworked, that you're tired and you're mentally exhausted. Try explaining to an older generation of Poles that, hey, I need some time because I suffer from ADHD. What? I know we can say that those older Poles were tough, strong people, like I said, resilient. But at the same time, imagine the suffering that they endured. Because many people walked around feeling not only unheard, but misunderstood. Not today's Poles. They're now fighting for the right to enjoy life, not just survive it. And let me tell you guys, that is the kind of shift that changes generations. The fifth thing that I would be extremely proud of if I was Polish is the culture of effort and everyday excellence. This is one of those things that goes almost unnoticed with outsiders. We know, the world knows, I think, the Poles are very hardworking, but it goes deeper than that. And that's the one that is sometimes a little bit invisible. Poles are almost obsessed with doing things properly. Whether it's a small cafe, perfecting the way that they serve the foam in their cappuccinos, or somebody open a ramen shop and literally the way that they create the noodles and try to make the experience of the customer feel as genuine as if you are freaking Japan. There is attention to detail and respect for things being done right. That's how you know that a culture is moving forward, when design and detail start to matter in everyday life. And the last thing that I would feel extremely proud if I was Polish is the fact that there's a new way of patriotism that doesn't require people painting their faces or holding torches or even going to marches. Although I have to say, and I want to leave it here in this video clear and transparent, that I have no problem with that. Honestly, I'm not here to disrespect any Pole and imply that the way that they show the love for their country is wrong in any way. Of course, assuming they don't participate in violent acts or they don't shout racist, xenophobic slogans, that in my opinion is a minority, and it's not even about patriotism. To me, those people are not being patriotic. I think they're just trying to inflict fear because they want to gain power and control. It's just the way of the world. But this new way of patriotism that is sometimes just quiet, but with a lot of self-confidence. People that show the love for their country just by being here, staying here, improving this country, helping it move forward. Not bathing in nostalgia, but rejoicing in progress, without forgetting the roots and who they are, and without forgetting to pass on the knowledge to our children of who are Polish people, who they were, but also helping them navigate who are they supposed to be. Now Poland enjoys the big responsibility of being at the forefront, impacting the world and changing the status quo. And I am happy and proud to say that I will do everything that I can to be part of that movement. And even though I am not a Pole, I feel as proud as if I was a Pole.